Hey, so today I'll be watching Bibliophile Princess, Episode 1. And this is an anime series that I've been really excited to check out, since back when even Ascendance of a Bookworm hadn't even come out yet, I had heard about this anime series, which back then was a light novel series. And I mainly found it since I was searching for animes that have people who love books as main characters. And of course this anime, along with the other one that I just mentioned, popped up. And I'll admit that neither one really stood out to me, or really got my attention, but of course as animes usually tend to do, once I saw the trailers for them, I was like, okay, I have to watch these animes. Because just like those two main characters, I love books. Just like mine, I'm obsessed with reading books, I love books, and just like this princess, I love collecting books. Which is essentially what a bibliophile is. Somebody who collects books and loves books a lot, which has basically been me like literally my entire life. I used to read all the little critter books, all the Arthur books, every single book I could find I would read. And not to brag, but even to the point where back in 7th grade, I was reading at a 12th grade level. And I read so much that I even got in trouble during class because I would be reading during class instead of paying attention. And for this anime series, my background's gonna be a little bit different, meaning that I'm not gonna have any statues or anything. I'm gonna have mainly books. I might change what books I put, or I might just put the same ones. But basically, these are like an assortment of books from my own collection that I put here. That to me made more sense to put, instead of typical statues or anything, because, well, I have a lot of books. This is an anime about a book lover. A background of books made sense. And also a way to show that my own collection has many different levels. From mythology here at the bottom, with the Odyssey and the Iliad, then Grimm's fairy tales. Then we go into more modern day fiction, like the Avatar Kyoshi series. Then more into the historical fiction category that I have. This one being about Anastasia, the Russian princess. Then of course the Ascendance of a Bookworm light novel series. And an old classic, the Hunchback of Notre-Dame. And although I haven't counted exactly how many books I have, though I have a list, I want to say I have an estimated amount of about 200 books? That seems about right. And it's not really also just traditional books, because I also include manga in my collection. Because just because they're more like comic books does not make them not books. But overall right now my manga collection is far bigger than my regular book collection. So much so that they couldn't even fit in one box. I had to have two separate boxes for them. One for regular books and one for manga. And I would also like to have my own personal library someday. But anyways, enough of that. On to the episode. Reminds me of Katarina's fiance.
とうとうその時が来たのね。
Princess of the Bibliophile. Bibliophile Princess makes more sense to me. I also wasn't expecting an opening song so soon. Usually with new anime, it's like the second episode or so. Or at the end. Phony fiance.
私は名をエリアーナ・ベルンシュタインと申します。
Eliana Berenstain?
で公爵の位を賜った貴族の娘で、父も兄も王宮勤めをしております。ベルンシュタイン家の人間は代々三度の飯より本が好きという変わり者ばかりで有名です。
I get that.
かくいう私も例に漏れず、幼い頃からドレスや宝石よりも
I relate to this already.
ついたあだ名が本の虫ならぬ虫かぶり姫。普通の女性なら不名誉に嘆いて叱るべきものです。
Also, is Berenstain like a reference to the book series? I mean, I know this is based in Japan, but there's a book series called the Berenstain Bears. I don't know if that's like a reference or something.
継承者のクリストファー殿下。
First in line?
国中からその将来を嘱望された王太子とお聞きしています。眩しい。
エリアーナ嬢、あなたは私の隣で本を読んでいるだけでいいよ。私と婚約してほしいんだ。
This seems too good to be true.
私は今日初めて殿下にお会いしたばかりです。
Calling him out.
それにベルンシュタイン家は公爵家ではありますが、末席中の末席で。
That's very true.
宮廷内は派閥問題や権力構造
Makes sense too.
正直なところ、私も母上や周りから早く婚約者をとうるさく言われていてね。私の婚約者になれば 伴侶探しの茶会や舞踏会を断れるし、その分を読書の時間に当てられるよ。
Why does he seem too good to be true? I love everything he's saying.
それに、私の婚約者という肩書きがあれば、王宮書庫室への出入りはもちろん。
He really knows how to get her attention.
差し出しも自由だよ。
限られたものしか出入りを許されない。
This reminds me so much of mine.
書が収められている。
She entered a church just to read books, and she just might marry the prince to be able to get into the archives. The blood of the Berenstain family is made of printed text.
では、交渉成立だね。私の婚約者という責務を負う代わりに、私はあなたの自由の時間を守ってみせよう。
Damn. This is kind of like better than what the Beast did for Belle in Beauty and the Beast. Well, actually, this is very similar. Well, he's not giving her the library, but he's giving her access to the library. Maybe he's sad because she's not into him?
遠慮はいらない。君は私の婚約者だ。
見せかけの婚約者なのに。
I'm surprised I agreed to this,
心遣いです。
because she's still lower than him in ranks. She's not actually a princess. Regardless of all the strife that's going on with political factions.
おととい借りてきた本はもう読み終えたのかい？
She's just so into reading. Dang, she's taking full advantage of this. I mean, I would too.
これほどの本を読めるなんて。今のうちに読めるだけ読んでおきませんと。
True, it's only a phony marriage deal until it's over. So back to reading. Damn, how much time has passed?
はい。書庫室にある旧帝国史はこれで全て読んでしまいます。
全部？
はい。史跡家や作家が書いた以外の古い記録もあるらしいのですが、入手が困難らしくて。はあ、読んでみたい。
I guess he's gonna get it for her.
それではこの書類をテオドール様に届けてもらえますでしょうか。
エリアナ嬢、この絵もつけずどちらへ？
書庫室へ、テオドール様へ書類を届けに。
ではその頃にお迎えに上がります。
やりません。
またそんな、いつも言ってるじゃないですか。殿下の婚約者をお送りするのは。
And yet, I feel like he might like her.
もう見せかけの婚約者の
4 years?
心苦しい。
Okay, so then she has read all the books in the archives then.
テオドール様、
エリアーナ嬢、
グレン様が手伝ってくださいましたので、それに日頃から本を持って鍛えておりますから。
頼もしい。東方見聞書など君が読んで楽しいのか？
もちろんです。
エリアーナ、やっぱりここにいた。私よりもおじ上と話している方が楽しそうだ。
堅苦しい執務をする殿下より、ここの管理責任者である。
I mean, that does make sense.
楽しいに決まってるさ。
He is in charge of the archives.
今日は私が送ろう。
はい。
アレク、今日は用が。
今すぐおいでください。
仕事人間め。エリアーナ、少し待っていてくれるかい？
はい、お待ちしております。これを私に似合うでしょうか？
うん。宝石の方が見劣りするかもね。
That also reminds me of the other anime. When he gave her a
お
jewel.
世辞をうっかり信じそうになりました。お兄様、これも含め殿下からお借りした装飾品はいつお返ししたらいいでしょう？
It was a gift.
返す必要はないんじゃないのかな。
ですが、私は見せかけだけの。
Also, he's aware too. I mean,
そのために国庫
yeah, they probably would make sense that they're aware. Or maybe everybody else knows that he's in love with her, but she doesn't know it.
子爵家のご令嬢をご存知ですか？とても社交的で、私とは正反対の方のようですね。でも、あまりいい噂は聞きません。こんなに美しいお嬢様をどうして殿下が放っておくのか理解できません。婚約者になられてもう4年ですよ。お嬢様も18
She was 14 when they got engaged?
されたというのに、ご成婚を先延ばしにされ
I mean, I also thought it would be weird. How long could they put off the marriage?
私と殿下が交わしたのは、あくまで婚約することで得る双方の利点の一致。私たちの間に恋愛感情は
Okay, maybe not you, but I'm pretty sure he does like you. I mean, not just anybody would just allow this. Oh, she's gonna fall and he's gonna catch her.
それよりあなたに怪我はなかったかな、アイリーン嬢。
はい。
It's that girl they've heard nothing good about.
でもどうしましょう。どなたかのご本を汚してしまいました。
The greatest sin.
下町の女性の間で今人気の本。このようなものを好まれる方が王宮内にいるのですか？申し訳ありません。
Ooh, if that was mine, she'd be pissed.
アナ様の私物を汚してしまいました。
私物を放置したエリアーナ嬢の落ち度。あなたがそこまで詫びる必要はない、アイリーン嬢。
ごもっともです。
片付けはこちらでするから、君は早く。
But I mean, it was on the table. If it was on the floor, I'd get it, but it was on a table. Why would you put tea near a book?
エリアーナ嬢、君も気をつけるように。
それから奥の書棚のはしごにひびが入ってまして。
わかった。くれぐれも高いところにある本は自分で取らないように。
She probably still will. Okay, I see. Is this why there's like bad rumors about her?
本当に社交的な方だわ。
I mean, yeah, she's outgoing, but it could be perceived as wrong, especially during these kind of times.
まあ、エリアーナ様、どちらにいらっしゃったのですか？皆様お待ちだったのですが。
Why is she soaking wet?
所用ができてしまいまして、申し訳ありません。何があったのですか？私のようなものが失礼を申しました。それに
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. But is she being bullied by the other nobles?
エリアーナ嬢。
グレン様。
それならそうだ。今までどちらに？
グレン様、お怪我はありませんか？
What happened?
水をかぶられましたね。
Does he like her?
お話を伺いたく思います。茶会は中止になりました。今城内が騒がしいので、ご自宅へお戻りください。
でも遅れたお詫びを皆様に。
エリアーナ嬢、この絵に送らせます。
バラ園の配管に故障が起きたらしいと送っていただいたこの絵の方が話してくださいました。
I mean, that's possible, but
この数日殿下がこちらにいらっしゃらない。
I'm pretty sure he's looking for the books that she
申
wants.
し訳ありません。ただいま書庫室が立て込んでおりまして。
ではせめてこちらを返却して。
私がお預かりします。
I'm almost certain about that. Maybe he's gonna surprise her with the books being there?
すまないが、しばらくはここへ来るのを遠慮してくれないか。
It's gonna be a surprise for her. I know it.
もしお忙しいなら何かお手伝いいたしましょうか。
No, she can't read, so she has a lot of free time.
しばらくは私がご自宅へお送りすることはできません。
That's also kind of strange. Or maybe there is something serious going on.
せめて殿下にお会いしたかった。
Wow. I'm surprised she wanted to see him.
エリアーナ、君に贈り物があるんだ。作家が書いたものではない旧帝国史。読みたがっていただろ。ほとんど世に出回らなかったものだから少し苦労したけど。
I knew he was looking for it.
僕も早く渡したくて。君が喜ぶかと思って。
He really does care about
殿
her.
下が私のために。嬉しい。 ございます。クリストファー殿下。
Oh.
看病という名の退屈しのぎの話し相手。その苦行から抜け出し、王宮書庫室に来たの。
No. That torment. Girl, you're taking care of your aunt. Oh, is the ladder that's broken? Is she gonna fall now? Is she gonna realize her feelings?
ああ、とうとう。その時が来たのね。
When he gets a real fiance?
私は見せかけの婚約者。
Hmm.
いずれ終わりが来る。終わりが分かっていたこと。
君が喜ぶかと思って。
She doesn't want it to end. Hell, I wouldn't want it to end. Alright, so I know it's only the first episode, but I think I love this series. It's like exactly what I wanted it to be. It's like Ascendance of a Bookworm with the whole loving books, being obsessed with books, preferring books over people, etc. But in this anime, the character's older. Iliana isn't 5 years old like mine is. She's 18, and engaged to a prince who apparently is perfect. And frankly, I wish I had somebody like that. He said like all the right words. He's like, get engaged with me and you can read whenever you want. You can read all the books in the library. You can read here, nobody will bother you. But of course, those things only happen in anime. But I'm really enjoying this series so far. This episode felt really long to me somehow. Like, let me check if it was really only 22 minutes. Okay, so yeah, it was only 23 minutes long. And yet it felt like a really long episode to me. Though I really enjoyed it, like a lot happened. I was surprised so many years had passed between the engagement. The fact that she was 14 when they got engaged and is 18 now. And of course people are starting to question, why aren't you married yet? It's been 4 years. It's a very long engagement. You'd think the second she turned 18 they would get married. Although personally to me it seems that the prince really does have feelings for her. I mean, he goes through all this trouble just to get things for her. He seemingly left work for days to go look for a book for her, just because she wanted to read it and it would make her happy. And he seemed to really like when she smiled at him, because it was a genuine smile and she was happy for the book. And also happy that Christopher was the one who gave it to her. And even I find myself like, 1, loving Prince Christopher, because who wouldn't? And 2, somehow different than most other animes where typically I noticed that I felt a little bit more relaxed. Because typically I feel that I'm really like straight up, like stiff kinda. And I find myself like leaning to the side a bit and being more slouched. So to me at least that's like a good sign to me because like I really enjoyed this anime. To the point where I was like really relaxed, not really caring about the camera and how I looked or not. Which typically I kind of do care about a little bit. And this one I was just so focused on the anime itself that didn't matter to me. And I also really identified with Eliana's love for books, her preference for books over clothes, jewelry, people. Which, in fairness, does not sound great, but it's just how it is. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but specifically with Iliana, I feel like I see myself when I see this character because, well, the love of books, everything, really, everything. And also the fact that Prince Christopher basically gave her an easy way out of everything. She won't have to go out and do marriage meetings or go to balls or anything like that because she's already engaged. And the only reason they do those things is because, like, you're single and you need to find somebody to marry. For the past 4 years, she's been engaged. She doesn't need to find anybody. She has all this time to read and everything. And like, what more could she want? What more could I want, really? It's literally like the perfect scenario for her. It's literally the perfect life for her. Even if it's temporary, it was only like a few years because eventually he would have to find an actual bride and not like this phony fiance that he made her think so. Which honestly to me, I feel like Prince Christopher might have sold her the idea of being his fiance as being like a phony fiance. But really, this was him just wanting to be engaged with her and hoping that over, the years, she would fall in love with him and their phony relationship would become real, which is what I think is what he hoped for. Like he's really hoping that for one, she'll accept his fake proposal, because I don't think it was fake at all. Knowing that she probably wouldn't agree if it was a real proposal and tell her everything she wanted to hear in order to make sure she would agree to it. Which in fairness, thinking about it, that might seem a little bit manipulative, but not entirely. And he said all the key words. I mean, like, hell, I would even say yes. And it also seems that his plan in a way worked. It's been 4 years since they've been engaged, and she does seem to care for him. I mean, it could also be transference of feelings because he's given her all this free time to read and all these books to read. So of course it's kind of like her feelings for the books and her love of reading stems from Christopher allowing all of this. Like, she has all this time to read, all these books to read because of Christopher. So of course, maybe she might start feeling something for Christopher because of that. Not necessarily because of that, because I feel like she also had feelings for him before, but she prioritized reading so much that she never really had a chance to think about it. And now it seems like she does have feelings for him, because it seems like she wasn't exactly too happy with him possibly ending their relationship because she saw him talking to Irene. A girl who even her own maid said, there's rumors that she's trouble, be careful around her. And it seems that she does seem to talk to a lot of the guys in the castle. Not that that's bad, but given, the time, everything could seem like a scandal, And especially in this case, she's talking to the crown prince, she's laughing, they're having a good time. She saw them like that. Of course, she might think, what if he's gonna now choose her to be his actual fiance and our engagement will be, done. I mean, not that she would care about her reputation at all, because clearly she does not, because she says she prefers reading to everything else, and having her engagement be over wouldn't be the end of the world for her. But the fact that she wouldn't be able to read and have all this free time anymore, but also losing Christopher at the same time, that seems like a lot. When she was crying, she seemed sad because of, all this time, after 4 years, it's over. But also it seems that she's not just sad because, of all the books and everything, but she's sad because she's losing Christopher. And on a side note, I feel like this is the most I've ever talked in regards to anime in general. When I react to things, I feel like this is the most I've talked. Which partially I feel because I also repeated a few things, but also because, I'm really into this series. I know it's just one episode. My opinion could change over the next few episodes, but I'm hoping it doesn't. And I honestly think I'm going to start looking up the light novel series, because I believe they don't have a manga for this. I believe it's just a light novel series, which actually also fits that this wouldn't be a manga series. Generally, it would be from a light novel series about a bibliophile princess. Oh, and I also like that reference, that she was so into books, they didn't call her a bookworm. They called her a bibliophile. That was a nice separation from Ascendance of a bookworm, because, mine is a bookworm, and Eliana, because she's a bibliophile, she really loves books, that's all she cares about. Which also is true for mine, but she also does care about other people. But her main love is books and family. And for Eliana, it seems like it's just books, really. But I did like they added that distinction, that she's further than a bookworm, she's a bibliophile. The only thing that I'm kind of sad about is that I was wrong. I was assuming it would be the typical anime trope, because after she found that the ladder was broken and Lord Theodore told her to not go up into any high places to get books, I figured she would just not care. She would still go up, get the book. A very mind thing to do, I guess. And then, evidently, the ladder would break, she would fall. But of course, before she hits the ground, Prince Christopher catches her, and they have this moment. But that didn't happen, at least not in this episode. Although I did think it would happen when she was sitting down, although it could have been a different ladder. I mean, it probably was. And also the fact that he was outside talking to another girl and she was inside and he wouldn't be able to catch her in time. It would probably be the guard or something. Which also I found a little bit weird. Also, a little tangent. I get why Christopher wasn't around, because he was looking for the book. Also the fact that his servant, assistant guy, I don't know who that was. The one they call an ice demon. I was surprised that was allowed. I know he's the crown prince, but I'm surprised that he was allowed to just go out for days. But anyways, back to that scene. I was talking about that scene in particular reminded me of, from the anime series Kaichou wa Maid-sama, where Usui is talking to a girl outside, and Misaki's inside the library. She wasn't really paying attention to what was going on with Usui. She ended up saving somebody, and she ends up getting hurt. But he can't get to her in time because of course he's outside. It reminded me of that scene with Eliana and her seeing Prince Christopher and Lady Irene talking. That I thought that maybe she would fall and she would get hurt, and Prince Christopher wouldn't be able to save her in time. So I really can't wait to see what happens in next week's episode. And I think I'm actually gonna check out the light novel series and buy as many as I can if they're already on the US with English translations.